Yeah. Mm. Now that is what you call electrovenus, I would have said. Yeah. In there are the remains of three Chinese-made stereo systems. Two were boomboxes, and the third was a sort of a standalone thing, if you like, with a CD on top and a cassette deck, allegedly made by Philips, but no more made by Philips than I am. It was just full of PRC components. Now, the two boom boxes, an interesting phenomenon there. They both ran on 6 batteries, giving 9 volts DC. So the innards run at 9 volts DC. And the mains, of course, puts out 9 volts DC-ish, via its transformer rectifier group when you're running on the mains. But some of the capacitors inside these two sets were only rated at 10 volts. So I'm thinking if you get too many power surges, or the volts are pretty stiff, as they are where I live, the thing will consistently be running at more or less maximum rating. And of course, you can guess what had happened if you know anything about this sort of thing. They were full of bulging capacitors. Yeah, nice. I do not think. The little Philips MIDI system thingy, or micro hi-fi I think they call them, that had no lid, so it wasn't worth trying to resurrect that thing in any case. I did keep the mechanism from it. It's a far cry from the days when Philips used to make such things. I think it could even be DC bias. It's certainly got a magnetic raise head there, look. You can see just there. The actual head itself is a somewhat small affair, and it is rather dirty, but it's hardly worn at all. And everything seems present and correct, and it's a full automatic stop mechanism, so hence the reason I haven't thrown it away. I did the other two, they were just crap. But it should get some spec on there. Oh yeah, this is 9 volts DC as well, actually, as it goes. But this was inside the micro hi-fi system. Usual, well, silver dollar flywheel. Actually, it's a bit heavier than most are nowadays. But amazing. They were all under 10 years old, these things, and all had packed up because of components sailing far, far too close to the wind. They started doing this years ago. The Amstrad tower system I have, and sorted out eventually, I couldn't do anything with the record player in there at all. It was one of those belt drive things with a little red LED, and it said proudly on there belt drive and all that, and had a strobe supposedly around the edge of the turntable. Yeah, okay. But you couldn't get the thing to run properly at all, and the reason was there was no proper switch in this thing. All it did was have a wiper arm that just haphazardly touched some parts of the circuit board. And once you got a bit of oxidization and dust in there, you couldn't get a steady speed. But to get back to the point, when I found this thing at Emmaus, I think it was, our local charity superstore, they like to call themselves, everything seemed to come on. It lit up. The turntable went round and round, the cassette mechanism fired up. But and even when you played a tape back, you could see the LEDs flashing on the LED level meter on the cassette, but there was no sound at all. And the problem there was something very similar to what's happened to those boom boxes. Instead of using a suitably conservatively rated part, they gone and put one in there that operated at about 2 volts, clear of the line voltage, if you like, inside. And this capacitor had gone fat, gone short circuit, and the clue was a nearby large wire wound resistance which was getting rather hot. So the moment that came out of it, the volts suddenly went up on the test bench, so to speak, and I knew what it was then. Just one capacitor. But it does make you wonder, doesn't it? Because in those days, those things, they weren't particularly cheap, the TS-33s. They cost a lot more compared to what people actually earned than those Chinese things in there did. It does make you wonder. You know, they call it planned obsolescence, don't they? They engineer the thing to fail. And when it does fail, of course, unless you know an old fart in a shed who knows a bit about this sort of thing, or an ex-service engineer or someone like that, you are well and truly stuffed. And of course, away you go and you buy another pile of poo, which does exactly the same thing again in a couple of years. Yeah, it's good here, isn't it? And that's all I've got to say on that one. Anyway, see you soon.